Good morning to everyone, doctors and officials, and especially to Dr. Jojo Cos. So we are the Group 2 and here is our presentation. So I'm Rian Pearl H. Plumo and I'm the leader of Group 2. And here are my members, Kiro Lumibao, PPT presenter, Carissa Lu, PPT presenter, Shaina May Baman, researcher, Rosa Felisa Legaspi, PPT presenter, Renalyn Tanalion, researcher, Yutzel Leslie Valles, energizer maker, and Virginia Grace Baisa, energizer maker. So before we start, let us pray first. So let us bow our head and feel the presence of the Lord. So, thank you Lord sa araw na ito. Naway bigyan niyo kami ng knowledge and wisdom upang maituro namin ng maayos yung topic po na meron kami. And also sa aming mga kaklasmate, sana po may maayos silang internet connection at maintindihan po nila ng maayos ang aming mga isi-share na knowledge about po sa aming topic. And gabayan niyo rin po ang aming professor and STs na siyang gumagabay po sa amin. Yun lamang po aming samot na langit. In Jesus' name we prayed. Amen. So, before we proceed, let us have first the energizer. So, may I call...
So, as we go to our proper discussion, we're going to have our energizer first to break the ice within us, guys. And I know some of us are might sleepy right now, and this energizer will serve us to energize our body and mind. So, let's start. We're going to solve the Scrabble words, and nakalagay sa box yung instruction kung paano sumagot, and Doc Virginia will call the participants. So let's start the first slide. Who wants to answer?
Okay, Doc Baman.
Disaster.
Yeah, that's correct. Let's go na sa next slide. Anyone?
Doc Plumo.
Checklist.
Yeah, you're right, Doc Plumo. Next slide.
Doc Tanalian.
Preparedness.
Yes, tama po. And the last slide.
Doc Rodil.
Natural disaster.
So the topic that we had is all about NDRMC or National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. So here is the scope of presentation. So first, we're going to define disaster. Second, disaster risk profile of the Philippines and the natural incidents and their impacts, perceived impact of climate change. So third, the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management System, an overview RA 10121, progress of implementation and the RMC structures and mechanisms enhance framework of DRR or NDRMF, NDRM plan, integrated DRR, and climate change adaptation approach. So for the first presenter, may I call Ms. Shaina May Baman to discuss the topic that she have. So the floor is yours, Doc Baman.
Thank you, Doc Plumo. So first, we're going to define what is disaster. According to Republic Act 10121, a disaster is a serious disruption of the functioning of a community or a society involving widespread human, material, economic, or environmental losses and impacts, which exceeds the ability of the affected community or society to cope using its own resources. Disasters result from the combination of vulnerability that are present and insufficient capacity or measures to reduce or cope with the potential negative sequence. So yung disaster na alam na natin na isa siyang maluwang pangyayari or kaganapan na nagdudulot ng malawakang pinsala sa ating mga tao. Hindi lang sa physical natin, pwede rin yung mga ari-arian natin na dadamay pati yung kalikasan and kapaligiran. Ito yung maaaring dulot ng mga likas na mga panganib or yung mga natural disaster na tinatawag natin, which is yung earthquake, baha, typhoon, sunog, tsaka yung iba pang mga sakuna na gawa ng environment. So yung disaster din is maaari din siyang magdulot ng pagkasira ng mga infrastructure kasi nga katulad ng earthquake, 'di ba? Pwede siyang makasira ng mga infrastructure, pagkawasak ng mga tahanan natin, yung pagkawala ng buhay at iba pang mga negatibong epekto ng komunidad. So next slide. So Philippine Disaster Risk Profile. Vulnerable rural areas where houses are light structured and not able to withstand the effect of these weather disturbances. Its 289 kilometers of coastline is exposed to possible storm surges, tsunami, and sea level rise. Situated along the Eurasian and Pacific plates, 300 volcanoes, 22 as active, 27 are potentially active with 3 volcanoes constantly monitored recently, like Mount Mayon, Taal, and Bulusan. Extensive fault lines generate an average of 20 quakes per day, mostly minor ones. Located in a typhoon belt, the Philippines average of 18 to 22 typhoons a year, almost half of which is destructive. So alam naman natin, di ba, bago tayo magkaroon ng tinatawag natin na climate change, talagang nakakaranas yung lugar natin ng 18 to 22 typhoons per year. So, simula na pumasok yung climate change sa atin, bira na tayo makaranas ng pag-ulan, gaya last year. Parang iilang bagyo lang yung pumasok sa bansa natin. And nagkaroon ng tinatawag natin na El Nino. So, marami tayong mga active volcanoes kasi ang reason nun is nasa Pacific Ring of Fire ang Philippines. Kaya meron tayong marami tayong mga active volcanoes here sa bansa natin. So next, Roman numeral 2, which is disaster risk profile. Flooding is a perennial problem due to unplanned and unregulated development ventures like housing and other industries. Example given, fish ponds, mining, informal settlers living in waterways and houses on riverbanks, denuded forests due to illegal logging, eroded soil, poor waste management, problematic protocols in the release of waters in major dams. The impacts of climate change is also causing unpredictable behaviors of typhoons and its effects. The effects of El Nino and La Nina can cause inundations, landslides, and drought which affects food security and energy. So dito aware naman tayo sa nangyayari sa Marikina, which is nagkakaroon ng sobrang pagbaha talaga, and kahit mahina lang yung ulan na meron, talagang tumataas yung level of water kasi dahil nga sa ilalim din nun, alam naman natin na puno na siya ng mga basura. Kaya nagkakos siya ng pagbaha. And isa pa sa mga nagiging dahilan nun is yung pagkakaroon ng illegal logging, which is yung mga puno yung nag-help sa atin para magsipsip ng tubig na binabagsak ng ulan. Kaya, di ba, pansin nyo sa Maynila o kaya sa ibang lugar na wala na masyadong puno, sila yung mas binabaha kasi nga wala nang tumutulong na puno para magsipsip ng tubig. And ayun, ginagawa din pala ng ibang tao is yung kaya may illegal logging, ginagawa nila is yung pagkakaingin, yung ginagawa nilang uling. Yun. And isa rin sa mga nagiging dahilan nung pagkakaroon ng pagbaha sa ibang lugar is yung biglaang pagpapakawala ng tubig ng mga dams. Di ba minsan hindi sila naaabisuhan, kaya yung iba nadadamay sila or sila yung mas naaapektuhan kasi hindi sila nasasabihan agad na magpapakawala yung isang dam. So, meron ba kayong mga any other additional about sa disaster risk profile bullet 2? Yes po, Doc Plumo.
For me, siguro dahil kaya merong disaster risk profile is para magkaroon tayo ng choice kung saan tayo pupunta during the disaster, like for example, flooding, ganyan. And sabi kasi dito, flooding is a perennial problem due to unplanned and unregulated development ventures. Kagaya nga ng sinabi ni Doc Baman, kapag nagputol ka ng puno and pinalitan mo ng bahay, and yung lugar na yun is mababa, there's a big possibility na magkaroon ng baha. So, napaka-importante ng disaster risk profile para maiwasan natin, hindi man natin mapigilan, pero pwede natin siyang maiwasan sa pamamagitan ng pagpaplano. Like for example, pagpaplano sa isang community. Ganyan. And I think papasok din dito yung pagkakaroon ng evacuation center, yung mga ganyan. So, ayun lang po yung ads ko. Thank you.
So, thank you for your additional information, Doc Plumo. So, next slide. Additional, the country's vulnerability to natural hazards alone caused the Philippine government an average of 15 billion annually in direct damages, or more than 0.5% of the country's GNP. Aside from these direct impacts, disasters have also derailed social and economic development since funds are reallocated from ongoing programs to finance relief and reconstruction assistance. So dito nga nagkakaroon sila ng parang pondo para sa mga disaster na nangyayari sa atin, para magkaroon din sila ng, halimbawa magkakaroon ng disaster, naghahanda na sila and nagbibigay na sila ng allotted budget for that. So for the next slide, may I call on the next presenter, Doc Kiro Lumibaw.
According to the World Risk Index,
Yes po.
the Philippines placed third out of 173 countries ranked according to their risk score or their exposure to hazard. As you can see here, sa ating World Risk Index is number 3 ang Philippines within 24.32 average. And makikita nyo din dito yung 173 countries na kasama sa mga risk. Future change on extreme events based on climate change scenarios provided by PAGASA. Using A1B balance and A2 regional-oriented economic development and slower and more fragmented technological change and improvement scenarios. Number 1 is, it is very likely that hot temperature and heavy precipitation will continue to become more frequent in the future. Number 2 is, number of days with maximum temperature within 35 degrees Celsius is expected to increase in all parts of the country in 2020 and 2050. Number 3 is, extreme rainfall is expected to increase in Luzon and Visayas in 2020 and 2050. 3 is, extremely vulnerable to climate change based on climate change vulnerability Index 2010. Number 2 is, the Philippines relies on its agricultural economy for food security, which make up 18% of GDP. Number 3 is, 1 out of 5 or 15.73 million Filipino has no access to safe drinking water. For example, neto yung mga indigenous people, tama ba yung word? Or yung mga katutubo na naninirahan malayo sa syudad. So, umiinom sila sa mga bukal, sa mga running water. Perceived impact of climate change. Climate projection by 2020 and 2050 would impact domestic water supply, irrigation, hydropower generation, recharge of aquifers, water quality, watersheds and fishery, and even flood control operation. Number 2, climate change is expected to further aggravate the present condition of the Philippine ecosystem. Number 3 is human security is threatened. Disaster risks are increasing due to increasing intensity and frequency of meteorological hazard brought about by climate change, and the increasing value of exposed element due to development and demographic expansion. Philippine DRRM system. The Philippines was first in Asia to have enacted its own law on disaster risk reduction and management through Republic Act number 10121 or the Philippines Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010. This law provided for the paradigm shift from disaster relief and responses toward disaster risk reduction and management. Number 1 is top-down and centralized disaster management. Number 2 is bottom-up and participatory disaster risk reduction process. Number 3 is disaster as merely a function of physically hazard. Number 4, disaster mainly reflection of people vulnerability. And lastly, integrated approach to genuine social and human development to reduce heat disaster. RA 10121 Progress of Implementation. The Philippines DRRM law was signed on May 27th of 2010. Number 2 is implementing rules of regulation was signed on 27th of September 2010 and took effect 15 days after. Third, National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Framework was signed on June 16, 2011. Lastly, National DRRM Plan was approved by the National Council on February 7, 2012.
Thank you, Doc Lumibaw. So, DRRMC's network. So, ano nga ba yung DRRMC? It is administered by the Office of Civil Defense under the Department of National Defense. The Council is responsible for ensuring the protection and welfare of other people during disasters or emergency. Yung ano nila, meron silang sangay ng pamahalaan ng Pilipinas sa ilalim ng kagawaran ng Tanggulang Pambansa. Sila yung nagtitiyak ng kaligtasan at kabutihan ng mga mamamayan sa panahon ng sakuna. So, ang part ng DRRMC's network, National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, 17 Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils, 79 Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils, 122 City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils, 1,512 Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Councils, 42,026 Barangay Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Committees. Next slide, Doc Hiro. Next is LDRRMC membership. LDRRMC or Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management's role is to approve, monitor, and evaluate the implementation of local DRRM plans. Sila yung nag-i-ensure ng pagsasama o integration ng disaster risk reduction and climate change. LDRRMC membership has the local chief executive chairperson. So, ayan yung list ng mga local chief executive chairperson. Ayan sila lahat. Next slide, please. Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office, or LDRRMO. Local Government Units, Republic Act number 10121, known as the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010, requires the establishment of LDRRMO in every province, city, and municipality. They are the ones that set direction, development, implementation, and coordination of DRRM programs and shall perform its function. So, hindi ko na ito babasahin kasi nasabi ko naman na to. Next slide. Isa pa yan sa function. So, functions of LDRRMO. Disseminate information and raise public awareness about those hazards, vulnerabilities, and risks. Take all necessary steps on continuing basis to maintain, provide, or arrange the provision of or to otherwise make available suitability trained and competent personnel for effective civil defense and DRRM in its area. Next slide. Next slide po, Doc Hiro.
So, may additional lang din ako sa functions ng LDRRMO. So, yung functions ng LDRRMO, siya yung nagsisilbing taga-disseminate ng mga information and nagbibigay ng awareness sa public. Sa kagaya sa atin, di ba? Nagkakaroon tayo ng mga iba't ibang orientation, ganun, para i-ready tayo sa mga possible disaster na pwede nating kaharapin. Sila yung mga responsible sa mga ganong bagay. And sila rin yung mga nag-a-arrange yung mga provision, yung mga kailangan din natin, at saka yung step-by-step na dapat nating matutunan para maiwasan natin yung mga disaster na kakaharapin natin. Yun lang.
Thank you, Doc Baman. So next is the function of BDRRMC. But first, what is BDRRMC? Or Barangay Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Committee. So, nagkokonsist sila ng mga members from various sectors such as education, religious organization, and representatives sa lahat ng organisasyon na pumapaloob sa barangay. And they are led by the punong barangay as chairperson. Tungkulin ng BDRRMC ang sumunod sa lahat ng mga nakaplanong aktibidad sa lahat ng local levels. So the members of BDRRMC shall be organized to include community representatives and be responsible for administration and training, research and planning, and operation and warning. Next slide. The National DRRM Plan 2011 to 2028, DRRM Areas and Long-Term Goals. Disaster preparedness, establish and strengthen capacities of communities to anticipate, cope, and recover from the negative impacts of emergency occurrences and disasters. Disaster response provide life preservation and meet the basic subsistence needs of affected population based on acceptable standards during or immediately after a disaster. Disaster prevention and mitigation. avoid hazards and mitigate their potential impacts by reducing vulnerabilities and exposure and enhancing capacities of communities. Safer, adaptive, and disaster-resilient Filipino communities towards sustainable development. Disaster rehabilitation and recovery, restore and improve facilities, livelihood and living conditions and organizational capacities of affected communities, and reduce disaster risk in accordance with the Building Back Better principle. Next reporter, please.
The National DRRM Plan 2011 to 2028. Number 1, Development of Plans Joint Work Plan for DRRM and CCA, Local DRRM Plans, National Disaster Response Plan to include a system for search, rescue and retrieval, or SRR, scenario-based preparedness and response plans. Risk financing. Number 2, development of understandable and consistent IEC and advocacy materials on RA 10121, DRRM and CCA. Number 3, development of guidelines, communications, and information protocol before, during, and after disasters. Creation of DRRM teams, criteria or standards for local flood early warning systems, evacuation infrastructure, redesign and/or modifications, manual of operations, and disaster operations centers. Number 4, development of tools, DRRM and CCA mainstreaming in the national and local level planning. DANA and post-DANA psychosocial concerns.
So number 5, establishment of DRM training institutes and to end local flood early warning systems through integrated and sustainable management river basins and watersheds, local DRM councils and offices and their operation centers. So ano nga ba ang importance ng DRM plan? So ang DRM plan is important because it serves as the national guide on how sustainable development can be achieved through inclusive growth while building the adaptive capacities of communities, increasing the resilience of vulnerable sectors, and optimizing disaster mitigation opportunities with the end in view of promoting people's safety. So, disaster management plan plays an integrated role in keeping communities safe. So it involves coordinating the resources such as pollution control systems and responsibilities such as the following best practice policies needed to prevent, respond to, and to recover from emergency. So eto naman guys, yung DRM plan, dito pumapasok yung, alam niyo sa school, kapag bigla ang may drill, like fire drill and earthquake drill. So, dun sa school natin is, nagkakaroon tayo ng plan kung saan tayo bababa or kung saan tayo pupunta during and after the disaster. Diba yung sa atin is nag-duck cover and hold tayo during the drill or during the earthquake. Diba? Nag-duck cover and hold tayo. And then, after nun is, ang pinapagawa sa atin is, need natin dumaan sa designated area or, kung tinatawag nun, fire exit, kunyari ganyan. Doon tayo dadaan para makapunta dun sa designated area na safe. Emergency kit, yung may first aid kit, meron na silang medicine, meron silang mga delata, meron silang mga importanteng papers. So, dapat, sa Philippines is maging normal siya para sa atin kasi madalas sa atin yung lindol, ganyan, yung baha, yung mga hindi inaasahang pangyayari. So, That is how DRM plans serve. So, next slide.
The National DRRM Plan 2011 to 2028 Priority Programs and Projects. So number 6, conduct inventory of existing DRRM and CCA resources and services. Dito, kailangan na ang isang community ay magkaroon ng awareness about sa mga disasters na pwedeng mangyari sa isang lugar. Ang isang community ay dapat nahanda sa mga maaaring mangyari na disasters. Kailangan nilang ihanda yung mga sarili nila, magplano para sa agadan at madaling paglikas sa kanilang community in case disaster happens. Dapat ang isang community ay laging panatilihan na nakahanda sila sa and kailangan ang mga pangunahing pangangailangan nila katulad nung nabanggit ni Doc Lumo kanina, yung emergency kits, yung mga pagkain, first aid kits, personal papers, or important document. So number 7, development and implementation of DRRM and CCA activities using the 5% of government agencies GAA. Ang community-based disaster risk education ay gumagawa ng mga paraan para matulungan ng isang community na matutunan o makapaghanda sila ng maayos para sa mga disasters o mga maaaring mangyari na disasters. Tinutulungan din nilang mas patibayin pa yung loob ng mga tao sa isang community kasi 'di ba kapag may mga disasters na nangyayari, may mga tao na sa dala ng panic, hindi na nila alam kung ano yung gagawin nila, kung ano yung dapat na maging decision nila sa pangyayari na yon. And hindi nila maliligtas yung sarili nila kung paiiralin nila yung yung kahinaan nila during that time. Number 8, hazard and risk mapping in the most high-risk areas in the country. Ang hazard maps ay nagpo-provide ng importanteng informations para tulungan ng mga tao sa isang community na maintindihan ang risks of natural hazards at para makatulong din ang mga tao na mabawasan o maiwasan ang mga sakuna. Ang hazard maps ay nagpapakita ng lawak o laki ng mga inaasahang lugar ng panganib. Pinapakita dito yung katulad nung kapag halimbawa may nangyaring lindol, 'di ba meron sa balita na pinapakita nila kung anong lugar yung pwedeng tamaan pa ng lindol or pinapakita doon kung gaano kalakas yung lindol na pwedeng mangyari sa lugar na yon. Katulad din ng bagyo, kapag may paparating na bagyo, pinapakita nila kung ano yung lugar na pwedeng tamaan, tas kung gaano kalaki yung bagyo. Pinapakita din doon kung gaano kabilis yung galaw ng bagyo, tas kung gaano kalakas yung pwedeng mangyaring bagyo. Tapos yung hazard sinasama rin sa hazard maps yung information nila ng mga lugar ng paglilikas katulad nung mga facilitation center, ganon, safe zone areas, or yung binanggit kanina ni Doc Lumo na evacuation center. So number 9, institutional capability program of DRRM and CCA for decision makers, local chief executive, public sector employees, and key stakeholders. Ang Disaster Risk Reduction or DRR at Climate Change Adaptions or CAA, sila yung dalawang kasanayan na connected or sila yung may kinalaman sa pagharap sa mas mataas na pwedeng maging panganib sa mangyayari sa sakuna tulad ng pagbaha, paglindol na may pagbabago sa klima. Kasi 'di ba pag may lindol, pwedeng magkaroon ng aftershock. Kaya um, sila, nag sila yung tumutulong sa mga tao na harapin yung pwede pang harapin or ma-prevent yung mga panganib na pwedeng mangyari within sa na yun, sa mga oras na yun. So number 10, mainstreaming DRRM and CCA in local development planning. Yung safety ng isang tao sa panahon ng mga kalamidad ay isang pangunahing nakadepende sa paghahanda ng kanilang community sa mga sakuna. Kahit gaano sila kahanda para sa mga posible na mga sakuna, ang bawat bahagi ng paghahanda nila ay pwedeng maubos kung hindi lahat ng tao sa kanilang community ay hindi sumunod o hindi maayos na nag-respond sa kanilang community sa kaganapan ng isang sakuna. Kasi 'di ba kapag pag may mga ganito or sa isang community nagkakaroon sila ng program or gumagawa sila ng program na ipapatawag nila lahat ng mga tao or mga residents sa community nila, and gagawa sila ng program na mas ipapakita or sasabihin nila yung mga dapat nilang gawin kapag may sakuna na mangyari sa lugar nila. So number 11, PDNA capacity building for national government agencies, regional line agencies, and local offices. Ang post-disaster needs assessment ay isang pamamaraan para sa mga pisikal na damages at mga gastos sa mga pangangailangan sa pagbawi ng pagkatapos ng isang natural disasters sa pamamagitan ng prosesong pinangunahan ng pamahalaan. Kasi 'di ba kapag pagtapos ng sakuna, may mga nasisirang buildings, ganon, may nasisirang mga establishments. So sa pamahalaan nakalaan yung finances para mabuo or mabawi yung nasirang buildings or establishments. So number 12, review, amend, and or revise the building code and integrate DRRM and CCA Executive Order number 72, 1993, implementing rules and regulations of RA 10121, various related environmental policies. So yung link sa baba, pwede yung i-visit para mapanood yung about dito sa number 12. So next slide po. Natural disasters can happen anywhere, anytime. Man-made emergencies are very much the same. When a student is on campus, perhaps far away from home and expected to be independent, the thought of disaster or crisis can seem overwhelming. Through colleges and universities should always have strong plans in place. Students must also do their part to protect themselves from whatever might come their way. So dito sa natural disasters can happen. About to sa mga students. So merong halimbawa students tayo, kailangan meron tayong knowledge sa kung ano pwede nating gawin, lalo na pumapasok tayo sa school, tas hindi natin kasama yung parents natin or yung mga mahal natin sa buhay pag pumapasok tayo ng school. So tayo, pag may nangyaring disaster or sakuna sa sa school natin or on our way papuntang school or kahit saan tayo pumunta, kailangan meron tayong knowledge na pwede nating i-apply kung sakaling may mangyari na sakuna tuwing or kung saan tayo pwedeng pumunta. Kaya kailangan meron tayong alam sa kung ano pwede nating gawin para maprotektahan din natin yung sarili natin. Any addition po? Okay, next slide po tayo, please. Public emergencies. Ito naman yung yung mga pangyayari na nakakapag-trigger ng mga contingency plans tulad nung mga bigla pagsasara ng school, pag-lockdown or pag-lock ng buong school o kahit bigla ang pag-evacuate na posibleng hindi na mag-iwan ng pagkakataong bumalik sa room or dun sa lugar na yon o kunin yung mga gamit na maaaring gustong makuha nilang gamit. Katulad kapag may nangyaring sunog, 'di ba? Kapag may nangyaring sunog or lockdown. Halimbawa, dun muna sa sunog. Kapag may sunog, hindi na tayo pwedeng merong chance na pwede pa naman talaga natin makuha yung ibang gamit or gusto nating kunin sa loob ng natin ng bahay natin. Pero meron ding possibilities na hindi na natin makukuha 'yon kasi pag malaki na yung apoy sa natin sa bahay natin or kahit saang lugar na pwedeng pangalihan ng sunog. So doon naman sa isang example is yung lockdown. Halimbawa nung nag-lockdown nung mga nakaraang taon, may mga teachers na dahil sa biglaang pag-lockdown, meron silang mga gamit or mga important documents na naiwan sa school na hindi nila mabalikan kasi sa kadahilan ng lockdown yung lugar kung saan yung yung school na pinapasukan nila or offices na pinapasukan nila. Next slide po. So we have 4 reasons why preparation matters need more reason to prepare. Next slide po. Growing independence. So dito as a student or as a student or bilang isang tao sa community natin, kapag merong mga estudyante or may mga kaedad natin na malayo sa family, ganun, dito tayo matututo or matutulungan natin yung sarili natin na mag-grow tayo bilang isang independent na tao para para matuto tayo sa sa sarili natin kung paano tayo gagalaw sa sarili natin. And dito natin makikita yung sarili natin na super conscious na tayo sa mga nangyayari sa paligid. Kaya kailangan nating matuto na mag-aral sa mga nakikita natin at magplano ng sarili nating ng kailangan nating gawin and matuto tayong maghanda ng sarili nating mga plano. Next slide po. Avoiding panic and anxiety. So dito sa avoiding panic and anxiety, kapag pag mas pinapairal natin yung yung pagpapanik natin and yung anxiety natin, hindi natin matutulungan yung sarili natin na makawala dun sa space na yon na meron tayo and kailangan nating tulungan yung sarili natin na i-handle yung situation na kung anong meron sa harap natin or kinakaharap natin para matuto tayo na ma-handle pa yung mga problems or disasters or yun nga yung mga sakuna na pwedeng mangyari sa kinakaharap. Kasi if ever man na hindi natin kayang mag-handle ng mga maliliit na problem, paano pa kaya natin ma-handle yung mga malaking problem na pwede nating kaharapin, di ba? So next slide po. Learning self-reliance. Dito naman, nakafocus ka sa sarili mo lang. Kumbaga, isa kang independent na tao katulad ngayon dun sa unang slide na kailangan independent, lumaki, marunong ka at lumaki kang independent, mag-grow ka as independent na tao. And dito, dapat mas may tiwala ka sa sarili mo at alam mong kaya mo. As long as kampante ka naman na alam mo kung saan ka pupunta, kung sakaling may sakuna na mangyari at naka-ready yung yung emergency kit mo and ang mga basic essentials at kaya mo nang mag-isip ng ideas, ng plans na dapat mong gawin. Pwede ka na masasabi mong ready ka na talaga. And kung kaya mong kaharapin yung bagay na mga ganon, na kaya mong i-handle yung mga ganong bagay na maliliit na processes or stages, kayang-kaya mo nang harapin yung mga yun lahat, lalo na pag para sa sarili mo. So, yun lang po. Thank you. Sorry. Reassurance for others. So, dito, pasok dito yung mga mga families na magkakalayo sa isa't isa katulad nung nagtatrabaho sa ibang bansa or OFW tapos may naiwan siyang pamilya niya sa bansang halimbawa yung Pilipinas tapos yung mother nila kailangan umalis ng bansa nila para makahanap ng magandang trabaho. So dito kapag may nangyaring disaster sa Pilipinas, halimbawa ako may nangyari ditong disaster sa lugar namin or sa kuna, tapos yung isa sa mahal ko sa buhay ay malayo sa akin. Kapag may nangyari na sa kuna, iisipin ko yung situation nila, yung ganun, kakamustahin ko sila. And ganun din sila sa akin, nakakamustahin nila ako kung anong nangyari, kung okay lang ba ako, yung ganun. So, kailangan kapag ikaw, halimbawa may nangyaring disaster sa kanila, sa lugar kung saan siya nagtatrabaho, tapos ikaw, sa sarili mo, okay ka, alam mong ligtas ka, malayo ka sa ganun, sa sakuna na yun. Pwede mong ibalik or ibalik yung pagre-reassure doon sa taon na yun na na okay lang yan, na kaya nilang i-handle yon, kaya nilang alagaan yung sarili nila basta maging sila, ready sila, and kailangan meron silang plano bago pa may mangyaring disaster or sakuna doon sa lugar nila para para hindi sila masyadong mag-alala and hindi sila masyadong mahirapan na mag-cope dun sa lugar na kung saan sila nagtatrabaho kasi mahirap din yon na magdadala sila or may iniisip sila habang nagtatrabaho sila sa ibang bansa. Or ganun din sa akin, if ever man na mangyari yun, kasi mahirap din na may iniisip kang ganung bagay, lalo na kapag marami kang gagawin or marami ka na rin iniisip. So, yun lang po. Thank you.
So, thank you, reporters. And thank you din po sa pakikinig nyo sa aming presentation today. So, I hope marami kayong natutunan from us and sana yung mga nasabi namin kanina is ma-apply natin in real life kasi napaka-importante na malaman natin kung gaano kaalaga yung pagiging prepared pagdating sa mga bagay na hindi naman talaga natin mapaghahandaan pero mapagplaplanuhan natin. So, ayun lang po. So, dito na po matatapos ang aming discussion. So, thank you po, Dr. Jojo Cos, the officials, and to the doctors. Thank you.